Hey, what's up guys? I'm Rob Richards back here at the world famous Gold Gym in Venice, California. A lot of you guys have been asking about rotator cuff exercises, how to prevent and overcome injury. Well, I like to combine them with part of my shoulder workout. So today I'm going to share with you 3 exercises, all focusing on rear deltoids and superset with a rotator cuff exercise. Let's get to it and set up on exercise number 1. Alright, so even though the focus today is on the rear delts and the rotator cuff muscle, I really want to ensure that I warm up the shoulder thoroughly first. Another great variation you can do with this is cables. I've done this in a couple of other videos. Standing rear cable fly, so cross them over. Same kind of movement. We're not flexing at the elbow. All that movement is really the shoulder blades coming around and that rear deltoid. Whew. Let's move on. Second exercise here. A great thing to think about when performing this exercise for the rotator cuff is, let me show you. Imagine the upper arms are fixed across that horizontal axis, and all we can do is rotate around it. So with our upper arms in this position, all we're doing is rotating here and back up as far as we can go. So use a lightweight, focus on controlling that tempo. We're not dropping it down, letting the arms hang, keeping everything in that position, elbow and shoulder also fixed in that line of axis. So much lighter weight there, and repetition wise, 10, 15 reps, even up to 20 reps if you want to have a short rest between our bent over dumbbell flies and that plate or dumbbell horizontal rotation. Okay, one more set here, then we'll move on to the next superset exercise in this workout. Bit of a trio for this particular exercise. Starting off with a front-facing incline bench, kind of like what we did before, a rear delt fly movement, but then I superset that with just a pronated dumbbells, palms neutral, bringing my arms up as high as I can, working both that rear deltoid and the rotator cuff, and then for the last 4 or 5 reps added a rotation in, so it's another dynamic to the exercise, increases the intensity without using much weight, and I'm using 10-pound dumbbells. So the rotator cuffs They do a lot of work, but they're not the strongest, so don't try and lift a heavy weight. Focus more your heavier exercises with the compound, the pressers, machines, free weights. And when we start to get to isolation exercises with dumbbells, I'm dropping that weight down, focusing on that tempo, the control, more discipline, and keeping rep range from 10 to 12. So minimal rest period here, 3 sets, and about 30 seconds rest between each one. What we're doing, using the incline bench for that first exercise, I'm laying on it sideways. You can see I've got my back leg, kneeling on it, resting my body weight down, using the bottom arm to stabilize myself so my torso is a little bit up from the bench, and then the arm that I'm holding the weight, following that arc-like movement all the way back. So it's not like a row, pulling up like this, keeping the arm fixed in that position. We're not flexing at the elbow, and sweeping that outwards motion as high up as we can get, using that shoulder muscle, the rotator cuff, to get the work done. So keep the weight to a minimum here. I'd rather you get 15 or 20 good solid repetitions than try and go too heavy and risk causing injury to the rotator cuff as you're trying to train it. Let's keep this going. Also keep in mind that external rotation that we're doing works both ways. So typically most people will do this, pulling that cable out and away from their body, but also we're going to work in the opposite direction and pull it in. So really easy, just drop that weight down, a little bit weak on this one. We're going to reverse that movement. So instead of pulling the cable out away from our torso, we're going to pull it in and across our torso. And there we go. That wraps up today's video, focusing on the rear deltoids and tying in some rotator cuff exercises. Nothing too crazy here. We're not going with heavy weight, not that much volume. And like I said, it's really easy to incorporate some rotator cuff type movements in with our shoulder workout, especially if you're focusing on particular muscle heads like I am with that rear deltoid. Just a few tips to keep in mind. If you are supersetting back and forth like I've done in today's video, drop that weight down. Ensure that you can get at least 15, even 20 repetitions using lightweight and really focusing on that form. Often you don't need much weight at all. You start to get that burn after the first 10, 12 reps. So don't overload it with much weight and risk causing injury to that rotator cuff. Secondly, how often should you train the rotator cuff? You can hit it once a week as part of your shoulder workout or back workout. It's going to be plenty. Just make sure that you do focus on proper technique and good form when lifting. Well, that wraps up today's video focusing on the rear delts and rotator cuff. Please do subscribe to my channel. Check out all our future videos coming to do with training, nutrition, and check out all of my playlists. I now have muscle groups broken down into each workout, so plenty of videos for you to go through, incorporate into your own workout. Get yourself over to Rob Richards Fitness and my Facebook page. You can see more of what I'm doing and eating on a daily basis. On that note, please do stay tuned for more. Stay motivated, eat clean, and remember, consistency is king. Just got to keep doing the right thing every day, and gradually you'll start to see those results come. Take care.